Hey, 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 what's up? It's your girl, Angelique Bates, and you are tuned into the Evening Showdown every Wednesday. You know what it is. And you know we always have somebody special in the seat. And today we have Mechelle McCain, formerly known as Mechelle Epps. Thank you for coming to the show.
Thank you for having me.
You know, what have you been up to lately?
Oh, I've been getting back to me.
So tell us why you decided to drop your former last name.
Well, I spent 15 years in a relationship, and now it's time to do things for me, for myself. You know, I wanted to do things to promote my family name. And I wanted to show my kids, which I have 2 girls, that something can change in your life, and it could be a drastic change, but you can pick up and start over and start a new life and do new things, you know? And that's like my past. That's how I feel. It's like I was shedding my skin like a caterpillar, and now I'm a butterfly flying away as McCain.
When you speak of your kids, because I know the divorce was very public, how did it affect them? Because a lot of people don't realize that when you're in the public eye and you have children and family, that it does affect them. And you have all the trolls that's on social media. Everybody thinks they're a lawyer. Everybody thinks they're a physical therapist. Everything, you know?
Yes.
How did it affect them?
It was embarrassing because at school, kids would say things like, oh, your parents are getting a divorce? And it's kind of like, we haven't talked about that in our house yet. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, first of all, I have to digest that it's going on and deal with it myself first. Now I have to figure out how to tell little kids, which at the time they were like, I think 11 and 9. And it's no right way to tell them ahead of time. You have to figure it out and just kind of go with the flow and see what makes sense. Or you still never know. Each child is different. Each child, it affects them differently, and they accept things differently.
Did they know before it hit the media?
No.
So they found out through the media.
Through friends at school, because it's like, you know.
Yeah, that's the worst, and people don't even realize that. I mean, that's with anything, you know, and people just don't care. Like I said, I think we're in like a new time period where people just feel like they want to do a clapback. They don't even think about the children that are involved, and these children, like my children and yours, know how to access the internet sometimes better than how I do.
Exactly.
And they don't even understand it. With the divorce, weren't you blindsided yourself with it? So it was trying to keep your kids on track. It's like you're trying to keep yourself on track too and be strong for them as well, right?
Yes. And then to live a private life and then all of a sudden now it's public. That was like, you know what I'm saying? It was confusing too, kind of like what's going on? It's like a slap in the face.
Well, I felt that way. And I completely understood when everyone was trying to attack you, because I knew you from 35 and ticking, you know what I mean? So I've known you, so I actually know you. So when I was seeing the comments and they were just like, you know, first of all, this is just in general. It's not even with your situation. It's every situation when a divorce happens. I don't know what they expect, how they just expect people to just survive. Like you've lived a certain life for so many years, and then it's like you're not supposed to ask for anything. You're not supposed to be compensated for your time. That's how I figure it. But then it's like they just expect you to bounce back until it happens to them. And all the stuff that they were saying in the media, I felt that you deserved everything that you got, if not more. And because I understood, because you have children who are living their regular lives, and because you guys are in the media, they don't understand. Your kids can't go to public school.
And most of those people who were saying that probably never been married. They probably are in a marriage that, and not to knock anybody, but I promise you, people who are middle class or even rich weren't commenting
at all.
So it's people who wish, if I could just get to Hollywood, or if I could get a man like that. You know, they have all the things to say, but don't have it. So until you're in my shoes, living my life, what you say really doesn't matter to me, because you don't know what it's like being a celebrity. You don't know what it's like living in LA. It's expensive out here.
Very expensive.
You know, it's expensive. And it's like, if a person wanted you to live a certain life or live a certain way where they worked and you didn't, and then all of a sudden things change, it's like, wait a minute, okay, if you want things to change, that's fine, but this is like Apple. It's an investment. When Apple first began, people put their money in for shares, and when the company blew up, Apple can't say, oh, no, wait a minute, no, we're going to keep all our, no, you have to do disbursements.
Right.
It's an investment, and a marriage is a partnership. It really is. It's more, of course, you know, it starts from being in love, wanting to spend the rest of your life with each other, and then it blossoms into a partnership. Like, hey, we're looking out for each other. I have your back, you have mine. I protect your assets, you protect mine, and our assets are built together. And then when you've helped someone do that, and then if either party decides to walk away, there has to be something given. It just has to. That's life. Mm-hmm. And the courts think that too.
Exactly, which is why they favor with the way they favor.
I mean, it's common sense. That's how they figure things. Nothing is just like, oh, we're just going to give you this money because you want it and you want to wear lubes all day. No, it's not about that. Because when, at a certain point, it stops. It's mm-hmm. not like it's for the rest of my life.
Yeah, because I think I learned this from a whole other relationship that I didn't know that you get the spousal support for a certain amount of years if you don't get married, which I think completely sucks because it's like they're off doing what they're doing. It's like, okay, do I stay single or non-married to receive this money, or do I go ahead and move on like what you're doing, make my own money and live my own life because that's what you're doing?
But it's not fair because it's like the man can go and start living with another woman before mm-hmm. the divorce is even done. But if you do that, that takes off of the money that you'll receive. Because you saw in the news today, Rob wants to pay China less money mm-hmm. because he says she's a millionaire.
Yeah, I saw that.
And it's kind of like, but it's your kid. Mm-hmm. And, it's just...
I think they let too many emotions get involved and, probably family talking. But at the end of the day, like you said, that's your kid. And who's that kid staying with more?
And then, she bought that big house. Yeah. See, then you're scared to even spend your money because people are scrutinizing you.
Yes.
Because that's exactly what they did to her.
Yeah. Well, people don't realize. See, I think when the divorce happens, they just automatically gun for the husband or the wife. Mm-hmm. There are kids involved. The kids are used to a certain childhood, mm-hmm. a certain living. So because you want to gun for the mother or the father, then these kids are supposed to suffer?
Exactly.
Because like I said, your kid, private school, I wouldn't put my kids in public school, not the way these schools are.
Right.
And these kids are ruthless, and then you have bills. It's just, they don't realize it, but everybody knows everything but their own life.
Exactly. I think sometimes people just want to be heard.
I think so.
Because,
they screenshot and then you get put on social media real quick and
right.
so-and-so clap back.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm saving my clapbacks for my kids. I'm like, I'm not giving them, it's like, whatever. You don't know me.
Right.
So for someone to not know me, I really don't care.
In your situation, I felt like you were the ride or die. Mm-hmm. So, and I love the fact that you're on the show because there are so many women. I was one of those too, mm-hmm. that's been in that situation. I didn't make it, down the aisle, but I was that ride or die, mm-hmm. have helped so many get to the next level because when you're in a relationship, that's what it's about. You guys are supposed to be a reflection of each other. I don't know what's going on with these relationships today, but right. You're supposed to be a reflection. If you're down, then I'm down. If you're up, I'm up. We're supposed to help each other. But in my situation, it seemed like everyone that I helped, it's like once they got to that next level, they started shining a little more. Then you had the groupies, then you had the fake friends that mm-hmm. all wanted to attach on, and then they all somehow just walk away.
Yeah.
I know a lot of females that can't handle that. And I'm not saying that was your particular situation, but what advice would you give for females that get caught up in that?
What can't handle which part of that?
They can't handle the man walking away and just want to create hell.
Okay.
And if kids were involved, oh, well, you can't see the kids until we're back together. You didn't do any of that.
No. Take them.
Mm-hmm.
But they can't live with you. But take the kids. They need to spend time with the other parent. And then that's the not cheap. It's a free babysitter. Mm-hmm. And you never have to come back because it's their kid. No. You like, that's your kid. With the babysitter, you like, right. I can't be late. She's gonna, she gotta go home. But when it's the other parent, so I just think that. First of all, you have to know what you want in life. Mm-hmm. Because through the whole relationship, I still knew what I wanted. And I still pursued it as much as I could. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah. I never just said, this is it. I'm putting everything into that relationship because I love me. So first you have to love yourself. Love yourself. And then you have to know what you want out of life. Mm-hmm. And then you support that person, but you also support yourself too. So when it does happen, what's your next thing or move in life? What are you going to do after this? Mm-hmm. You can't. I feel like I don't put everything into one thing in life. Like if we're actresses,
right?
We can't always be on a movie set. So what else can you do? You know what I mean?
Right.
You have to do, like you're doing a podcast now,
right?
Like I have a foundation.
Mm-hmm.
I have other things that are important to me in my life. So just being married is not the end all be all. That wasn't my only part of my life. I have kids. Right. I'm raising children to be young, smart, beautiful, intelligent women. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So my life did not end there. It's just beginning for Mechelle McCain.
Right. See, I think a lot of people, probably because I'm a mother, I get it. Mm-hmm. And because we are in the industry, I know the behind the scenes. Everybody can't afford a nanny 24/7.
Right.
So if he's on set, who's going to watch the kids? I think a lot of people misunderstood the situation because I feel like, I can't speak for everybody else. There are some that do stick in the relationship long after, the other person has been busted for whatever. I don't really feel like that was your situation. I feel like you were pretty much there for your family.
Yes.
I'm just really trying to clear up all the mess that I saw, because I know you. So I can tell somebody, no, that's not what it was. But for those that were just like, well, why did you stay after everything? What would you say to them? I felt like you were there for your family because you were a ride or die. You loved your family when you're in a relationship, because I'm from the old school. If it's broke, you're just not going to throw it out. You're going to try to fix it. Mm-hmm. And I felt that's where you were coming from.
I think when you invest in a relationship for so long, and that's time, children, energy, when something like another person or another woman, you don't know the real story, and a lot of times everybody on the outside knows more than you,
That's always the case.
So when you're inside that relationship, something that was like maybe 10 minutes or a minute and considered a moment in the scheme of things, it's not as important as a whole life that you created with someone, with children and all that. And then people do make mistakes. No one is everybody's human. No one's perfect. So you get over things, because that's like if we're friends and I do something to you that you don't like, that's one of your deal breakers. But if I tell you, you know what, I'm wrong, I shouldn't have done it, I plead with you, and you give me another chance, are you wrong for that?
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But now when things get to a certain point, and I'm not saying I'm like, oh yeah, you can go do what you want, because I know some relationships are like that. That's not the type of relationship I had. Right. And like you said, sometimes people start feeling themselves,
Yeah.
And they do things. And then you just try. It's life. You do not plan to be cheated on. You don't plan for a divorce. You don't plan for a breakup. You just have to take them as it comes. Shots are fired, and you just have to dodge and duck. And and sometimes you are going to get hit, and you have to just figure out what's the best for your family.
Right. Do you feel like you had the freedom to pretty much venture out with your career while you were married, or did you feel like you had to kind of like not spread your wings?
Yeah, I didn't really get to feel that I could spread like I wanted to. Because especially when you're married, men are very overprotective, and then other people are, they don't want to get in between marriages or have,
Right.
the husband feel any kind of way. And then I had to watch the kids. I had to cook dinner. I had to make sure, I handled the family business. And I'm very great at business. I was on it, So I had a lot of jobs that kept me from being, actors, you have to be creative. You have to be open. You have to have time. And I didn't have that to be able to pursue it.
Right.
So, but now I'm focusing on me. So now is my time to focus on my career, my acting, just being able to go all the way anything I want to do.
Where do you want your career to go right now? Now that you have the freedom to spread your wings and be you, and now that you've dropped, your former last name, it's back to McCain,
right? And
pretty much create a legacy for your family.
Exactly.
I'm all about legacy.
You get it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what do you see in store for yourself?
I would like to be on a show, a series. I like action series like 911, Station 19. I would like to play a firefighter, save people's lives, things like that, and movies. I'm open. It's like the industry is so different. And it's about, for me now, it's about letting people know I'm still an actress. I'm not hiding under a rock. I had to spend time with my girls, with myself, and just really become Mechelle McCain, because this is a new chapter in my life.
Right. And I actually, I give you kudos and everything, because so many people, when they get a divorce, they do not drop the last name because they think that's their bread and butter. And with the social media, and when you have the reality TV, it's like, oh, well, then come on this show and air out the dirty laundry. Like, they ride that last name. And you're like, no.
Right.
And I think more young women and even the older women need to see that. It's like, it's not about that. It's about healing. And it's about self-empowerment. And you do have children that are looking up to you. There's other young women that's looking, and I think you're probably going to give them strength when they see this and hear it.
Yes.
And I think it's awesome.
Thank you. That's my goal. I want to empower women, empower little girls, because sometimes you just need hope. And sometimes you just don't have it. You need someone to tell you, like, you can still do it. Like, just because this happened, that doesn't mean your life is over. Right. Keep going. Like, okay, that happened and that's over. Let's do something new. You know?
Yeah. Because even when everything went public, you still had so much class. Like, I've seen some just go real haywire, and you guys weren't really in the media like that. It was just kind of like, and I noticed that you completely just, like, disappeared. You took time away from that, and I knew what was happening. I was just like, because you're not with the drama. I already know that. Tell us more about your nonprofit.
So it's Kids Loving Health, and it's health and wellness for children. So it's just teaching children how to eat healthy, and then the kids can teach their parents, because, you know, after a certain age, you're like, look, I got to work and pay these bills. I don't have time. But our kids teach us things as well. So even though I'm starting with the youth, I know that they'll take it back home and teach their parents just how to eat healthy, working out, exercising, and just a little bit will help. It'll go a long way. Because a lot of people think, I'll start next week. But it's like, if you just start incorporating eating healthy into your diet, it'll help. You know, you don't have to drastically change or go vegan or just be juicing, you know. It's like a little bit will help, and exercise is so important.
Oh, that definitely is. Are you in the schools with your program?
Not yet. I'm just getting it going, you know, and just implementing, like teaching kids how to eat healthy. So I'm just doing small little venues where I'm showing kids where they come in, have a chef, and they prepare healthy meals, and they get to interact with it and just see what it's like, and that it's tasty, trying new things. Because a lot of them, at one, it was like the grapes. She said they look like witch grapes because they were like long. I don't know, I forgot what they're called, but she was like, I'm not eating those. My grandmother told me if it don't look right, don't eat it.
I know what she's talking about.
And I'm like, you have to try things.
Right.
You know, so it's just opening their minds that eating healthy is cool and it's good. It's not like it's a disgusting thing or it tastes like dirt, you know, because back in the day, I know when we were growing up, that's what we thought. Yeah. You know, it's like, oh, it's going to taste like dirt and it's going to be nasty. But it's like your palate really changes when you eat healthy. You can really taste the food. Yeah. You know, the flavors and spices. So, yes.
Oh, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, I definitely think once you get everything going, you should definitely think about the schools, because that's something that's lacking. Yes. Because I know they took a lot of the health programs out of the schools. So to just implement it and put it back, and especially in the area that we're in too, you know, they have all the processed food and everything. Yes. Wow, this is so amazing. So how do your daughters feel now with everything going on?
I think now they're better. You know, they're like, okay, things are different. It's very drastic, but they're seeing the growth, change, you know, and it's like, this is life. They're getting a big dose of life early.
Yeah, that they are.
And I just know that, you know, as they grow up, they'll be able to handle things, because it's like, in your mind, you know, you think about what are the things that I went through and I overcame them. So this will be something that they overcame or that they felt was, you know, like a lot for them in their lives, that it's like, I can always revert back to that. Like, I got through this. My mom went through this. She was with someone this amount of time, and she picked right up and just kept going. I can do that too.
Right. And that's an example for every young woman. It doesn't matter how young, how old. Yes. Because you got fools at 50 years old, 60. Right. You know, that just feel like, but you know what? I can't even really put that on them. I feel like society has made certain women feel like they have to have a man. They have to stay in a relationship longer than they should. I mean, I've definitely been a fool, so I don't want anyone thinking that I'm just like, you know, talking about people. I have been a fool too, a couple of times, maybe 3, but I finally learned. But, you know, they make you feel like in order to succeed, you have to latch onto a basketball player, baseball player, or whatever, especially nowadays. If you want the verification, if you want to be on a reality show, okay, well, it's not even about being married anymore. It's just like, oh, did you sleep with him? Oh, did you breathe on him? Oh, then we want you on the show. Right. And unfortunately, that's what these little girls are looking at. And it's like, they don't even care about going to college anymore. What do I need to go to college for? I can ball out and end up on a reality show or act crazy, disrespect my mother, parent, father, whatever, and I can end up on social media. I can get verified. I can get a reality show. And I think we need to take it back. It needs to be more positivity and pretty much get our kids back, because we're losing them to social media. Because growing up, we didn't really have social media.
Right.
You know, we had our bikes. We were
right. You could just be home before the street lights come on.
Before the street lights.
Yes.
And you know, I have a daughter and a son, and it's so crazy trying to raise them in this society, because my son is like all about the games, and he's all about wanting to be on social media, the YouTubes and everything, and even my daughter. But it's like I'm finding where I'm just keeping them off, but it's like I can't keep them closed off to the world, so I'm like kind of torn in between of what to do. But I feel like it starts at home, and because he's in the industry and she is, everyone tries to play that, oh, well, you got a boyfriend, oh, you got a girlfriend. I'm like, no, let them be kids.
Right.
Let them grow up, and I don't think the society is letting people grow up. What is your outtake on that?
I think it starts with the parents. It's like parents have to work all day. So they really, when the kids get out of school, like you said, you have in LA, you have to have a nanny. They don't have a lot of after school programs. It's like not a lot of things for the kids to do. So they're stuck on the phone, stuck, watching YouTube and not getting homework done. And it's like, really, I think you just have to instill in your children that Instagram is fake.
Right.
You can create whatever you want on there. You know what I mean? Because I was speaking with my brother today on my way here, and he was telling me, just keep watching Instagram. I said, for the lies? I'm like, what is that telling me about what you're doing? Like, I know people do promote what they're doing on there, and some people are truthful, but a lot of people are living a lie off of Instagram. So I don't, use that as like, oh, truth, like, oh my gosh, this is what they're doing, and I didn't know about this, and just making it, indulging yourself in it. I feel like, though, it starts at home, and you have to just teach your kids and instill in them. Just like when we were younger, it wasn't the same for our parents.
Right.
So, our parents had to teach us during our time when it was crazy.
Right.
This is what you do. This is what you don't do. This is real. This is fake. Don't get caught up in that. I mean, you just have to keep instilling it in them. And with kids, you have to keep telling them a million times.
Over and over.
Yeah.
Even when you just finished saying it.
Yes. Get ready to repeat.
Oh, repeat.
Yes.
If your daughters wanted to be in the industry, how would you feel? Would you be open to that, or would you want them to get their education?
I would be fine with that, but like my youngest daughter is interested in being an actress. I'm like, you have to go to Yale School of Drama.
Okay.
If that's what you want to do, then let's get educated for it. So then when you walk in the room, they have to hire you. And if they don't, it's like, look, they on some BS, baby. Like, let's move on. Let's go do. You know what I mean? I just feel like having that education gives you that confidence. Because, a lot in this industry is about confidence.
Right.
They can see it, and I just feel like whatever you want to do, invest in the tools so you can be the best you can be at it. And if you're the best, nobody can deny you.
Yeah. And you actually write, too. Write and produce. So you do everything.
Yes.
Are you going to start writing and producing your own projects?
Yes, more producing. Writing, you have to have the mind capacity to start, but producing, yes. Yes, like short films, YouTube channel.
Do you have any projects in the work right now?
Yes, I have one, Footprints. It's a short film, and it's about it's they just have to stay tuned. I'd rather see, but it's called Footprints. Okay. And it's very interesting. So it's kind of like I'm like, I'll give a little bit. Human trafficking. Okay. That's basically what it's about. Okay. And I'll just leave it there. But yeah, it's about human trafficking, and it's really good because it's kind of a twist to it. Yeah.
They need more projects bringing that to light, because the people don't even realize how serious that is. Something just hit the news where they actually had a bust. I want to say it was in Chicago, where they busted about, I think, 150 kids, and over half those kids ended up being the ones that have been on the missing kid alerts.
Really?
Yes. So it's really serious, and people even they don't even realize it's right in the backyard. But that's because Hollywood, it's not glamorous, and if you don't have a big name tied to it, no one really cares. It's just about what's glamorous. Let's just sweep everything under the rug. But I'm glad that you're making this project that's actually going to bring light to what's going on.
Yes.
Are you thinking about doing any stand-up?
No.
No? She said no.
I'm not, that's not my thing. I'm not a comedian, but I'll make people laugh because I am funny.
Yes, you are.
But no. But I'll do comedic roles. But I'm not doing any stand-up at all.
Okay. No, I remember you in 35 and Ticking. That was hilarious. And let me tell you guys about this. See, I had like 2 lines, but I took it all the way. She had, I liked the role, and I feel like you didn't get enough publicity and acknowledgement for it. But it was funny as hell. Yeah. I was cracking up. My kids were laughing. Yes, really? I let my kids see it. But it's all about, I feel like when you're given a role, it doesn't matter how small, how major, how many lines. It's what you do. Do you make it your own? And you made it your own. Thank you. I felt that your name should have been up there on the front of the cover and everything. So, but your time is coming. That's why you dropped your last name. Yes. And you're McCain. And everything, and I feel it, everything is about to happen because you're opening new doors. You shedded a lot of dead weight. Yes. And you're flying finally, which is something that I think a lot of people need to do. It's not the end of the world. A lot of people feel like it is. If there's one thing that you could reverse about how public everything went with, you shedding the skin and the divorce, what's the one thing that you would change?
The outlets having the information about the divorce. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because like I said, I live a private life. And so now for them to be saying, oh, she asked for this amount. Oh, she asked for that and this and that. Right. And it's like, you don't business. Right. And you don't even know what's going on. Are you a lawyer? No. Right. You just don't know how things going. And of course, the media, oh my gosh, they spin things to sound so juicy.
Yes, they do.
Because when I'm like,
I didn't say that.
I didn't say that. I'm like, oh, they reworded this to make it seem like that.
What's it, clickbaits? Just to get the people to click on it? Yes. Yeah, they're good for that.
And I'm like, okay.
Right. And actually, a lot of people don't even realize when they do that, it's like especially when you have an open case, or I made it seem like you did time or something, but when you have an open divorce, they have to be careful with the things that they say, because the other person can be like, oh, well, she's out here, doing defamation and everything, and that's not even it. You didn't say anything.
No, I couldn't have gotten that at all, because I wouldn't have, like, who would put that on themselves? You know what I mean? To me, I felt like it was, the media made me look like I was this bad person. I'm like, where did that come from? Yeah, but, did.
Where do they get the information as far as the details on divorces? I've always wondered.
Well, everything you have to file in the court, and in California, everything is public. Oh. So people down there, they call, hey, I have this and I have that. They have informants who call them regularly and tell them everything. Exactly. Right. Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay. And they give them probably $35.
Right. If even that. Wow. Well, what advice would you give to a young lady that's out there that pretty much feels like she doesn't know what to do? She's gone through a bad breakup or whatever, or she's trying to move on, or let's just say she's a single mother now and she wants to pursue whatever her career is, whether it's entertainment, whether it's being a nurse, whether it's being a lawyer, but she spent so many of her years investing into the relationship and the children, and now it's just kind of like she's just there, and a lot of people end up getting depression, and they feel like they don't have anyone to turn to, and then they give up, and then sometimes they look down on the kids, like like it's the kids' fault. What would you give that woman that's pretty much over it, and she's at just pulling her hair out?
I think first you have to get you together. You have to disregard everyone else, and you need to sit and take time with yourself and figure out, what is it that I really want? I don't know what I want right now, and I think being a part of a group, just a positive group, to just give you good energy is very important. Just to be around people who are going to just love you, not be judgmental, not treat you bad, because mental abuse is a big thing, and a lot of times we don't realize. I follow Gary Vee, and he's just saying, like, those negative thoughts in your head, you didn't put them in there. Someone else did. Right. So the main thing is you need to surround yourself with positivity. If it's not positive, get rid of it. I don't care who it is. I don't care who it is. You have to get rid of it. Get it out of your life. You need positivity first, and put positive things in your life. And then you have to sit with yourself. Some people, it can be immediate. Some people, it takes time to decide, what do you want out of life? What do you really want? Like you said, if you want to be a nurse, you need to research, investigate, what are the things I need to do to become a nurse? Am I going to become an LVN first, then an RN? Because you do have kids, so you have to work up to it. You know, do I have to work and go to school at night? I think you just have to plan your life out for you, not for anyone else. You know? You just have to plan your life out. What are you going to do? And then you have to take the initiative to take these steps. Now, could be over a course of a year, 2 years. Everybody's journey is different. But you really have to plan out things in your life. And first you have to heal and get you together. And then you have to plan out, what do you want to do? And when you decide what you want to do in your life, you have to do it. Press the button and do it.
Do you think there's a deadline on accomplishing your goals? Because a lot of people do.
No, I just was talking to a lady today, and she's 50-something years old. Her friend is 50-something. She just became a doctor. Wow. At 50-something. So first she became a pharmacist, and then she went back to school. And I think she's like 55, somewhere in that area. And now she's a doctor. So it's never a deadline.
So you guys hear that? No more excuses. This age definitely can't be an excuse. And I feel you definitely on your circle, because like when we're growing up, and let's say our Thelma and Louise buddies, when we were in our teens and our early 20s, we got to shake them. If they talking about, yeah, let's go burn the house down, no, those aren't the ones. We're all mature now, and you have to be able. Matter of fact, this is an example that I told an ex. We all have a door. We all can't go through that door. I'm going to go through my door, and you're supposed to go through yours. But I can't carry you through yours, and you can't carry me through yours. So I'm going to go through the door, and I'm not going to wait. But, you know, it would be nice to see you on the other side. And a lot of people don't realize that. It's like they trying to take everybody through the door, and everybody is on different vibrations. You know, the person that, I mean, it might have been your best friend. It's nothing against anybody, but who was your best friend when you were 15 or 20 or 25 can't be your best friend now, because they might be on a completely different level. And I think people don't understand that. They try to take them all the way to them. I mean, it's awesome if you can, but you can't always.
That's true.
You know, so.
Yes, very true. Yes.
So I definitely agree with what you're saying, and I'm glad that you mentioned it, because I think that is definitely one of the things that's going on nowadays. It's like people are always telling everybody their business, and you don't know which angle everyone's coming from, because you might have that one person that's just like, oh, okay, well, you're trying to move on. You're trying to, you know, shed your skin. But if you shed your skin, that means you're going to go to another level. So your vibrations are going up, where everyone else that was on the level below, they're going to feel like they're being left. So you always have to be cautious, like Mechelle said, of who's around you, because it's all about self-growth, and it's all about your health. And toxic relationships aren't just with you and your partner. It's the family, it's your associates, it's whoever, it's the work environment. Toxic is toxic, and you need to learn how to just shake it, because it's all about you, because we only get one body,
one life,
and that's it.
Yes.
And I think Master P said, he's never seen a U-Haul following a hearse. You know, so gotta get it together.
That's good. I like that. That's good.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna take that one. But is there anything else that you would like to clear up, or let anyone else know that's listening right now about what's going on in your life, and pretty much the next steps? I mean, you've already pretty much said what your next steps are, but is there anything else that you want to let people know?
No, just love yourself. That's the most important thing. Love yourself, and take care of your priorities, your children, and make sure that you teach them the way. You know, the things that you did, instead of being bitter, the things that you wish you would have known, teach your children, or sow it into kids that, you know, you have a relationship with, or your family, you know what I mean? But the children, I just feel like you're not the end. So if you didn't get to do, because some people feel like, oh, I don't like where my life went, or I should have did this, sow that into a child, and you can help their life.
You know, there is one more question I want, because I was just thinking about how people kind of respond to certain situations, especially when there are kids involved. With the divorce finalized, is you guys' relationship healthy now for the kids?
Oh, we're co-parenting.
Okay.
Yes.
See, because you have certain people, and that's what I be trying to tell people. I'm like, there's still kids involved. Even if you're divorced, doesn't have to be World War 50.
Right.
It's like, keep it civil for the kids. y'all ain't got to be best friends and footsie buddies, you know, outside the kids, but it's for the kids, because the kids are seeing that, because like you said, you're setting an example for when they get older. And because if they're not seeing it at home, how are they going to have a healthy relationship or whatever when they get older?
Mm-hmm. That's so true.
See, I'm just trying to give them jewels. I hope you guys are out there listening.
Right.
But if anyone wants to find out about your nonprofit, where can they go?
KidsLovingHealthFoundation.org.
Awesome. And where can they find you?
Mechelle McCain on all my handles, and on Instagram it's still Mechelle Epps.
Okay.
But if they type in Mechelle McCain, it'll come up.
Mm-hmm. Yes. You know, I'm glad you said that, because I saw somebody, because I do be kind of lurking on some of the blogs, and I saw somebody say something ignorant. Why is the last name still the same on the website? Well, not the website, Instagram.
Because it's a Instagram matter that I'm trying to get. You cannot, if anybody from Instagram, can you please return my email?
You see, I'm glad you said that, because I knew what it was. Not everybody can change their name. When you get verified under a certain name and you start changing the name, they sometimes take the badge away.
Yeah, that's not what happened. I did an Instagram. I didn't know the little thing.
Oh, okay. See, I thought that I was just like being on the fence. I'm like, it's because Instagram's gonna take the badge. But you see, now you guys can stop being like, well, you know, she dropped the name, but the Instagram. See, y'all don't know what you're talking about. Mind your business.
Right. And then you have to prepare people for the handle change.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? They got McCain. So I'm prepping them as well. So when it changes, it's like, oh, okay, this is regular.
I've seen people change like their whole name into like some philosophy, and I'm like, who the heck is that?
Right. No, I just want just McCain.
Right. Well, see, now you guys got everything. I hope all your questions were asked. I mean, some of y'all probably still gonna troll, but for the most part, you guys have gotten all the answers, all the jewels. It's all about self-worth, self-power,
self-love.
You know, self-love. Just go out there and spread your wings and fly. Look, I'm about to turn into one of those little infomercials. But you guys have been listening to the Evening Showdown. You know where to find it on Instagram, YouTube, The Evening Showdown. I'm Angelique Bates. Just Google it, Angelique Bates. Find me on MySpace, Black Planet, let's see, Twitter, all of them. And it's me. I may not be verified on all of them, but it's me. I might talk back.
Is that your name on Tinder too? No, Jug.
It was actually Island something. Look. And I did kind of delete that one. Tinder is so whack. Yes, I was on Tinder. Yes, I've been on Tinder, and it's whack. Don't do it. But thank you guys for tuning in, and make sure you check it every Wednesday. Thank you.
Peace.